Okay, so let me know how you guys are doing. And I've been doing the processes we use all the time here. And let's just let everybody in. And it's pretty cool. I don't know why God has a certain timeline. Like, how come it doesn't all happen at one time? Maybe it's like my friend Kim Burnham jokes around. She said, um, time is so that it doesn't all happen at the exact same time. That's why God created time, and space is so that it doesn't all happen to you. So that's Kim was she was always so funny. All right, well, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to do, I was thinking about it today and I thought it's the same process over and over again, but it's what I do every day. And so I'm going to walk you through the process and use it as you like and make it the way you want to make it for yourselves. And, as they say, take what's useful, discard the stuff that's not useful, and then make your own flair on it. So we'll just go right to this version, and and here goes, and it's all in the portal, and there's places for it. And so let's do this. Yeah, let's take an intention. In matrix energetics, we talk about a weak intention, which is kind of like just like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool if that happened? Or if anything were to happen for me, if something were to happen for me today, what might that be? And then you just kind of like go out there. So let's start like that. If something were to happen for you today, what might that be? And then Leslie and I will do a matrix energetics 2-point, which is how we live. So on 3, 2, 1. Total perfected essence. Everything you want. And let's do our process. We'll do the whole thing, and then we'll go to one-on-one healing for everybody. You guys are awesome. Okay, so we'll make a magic circle around us. And we'll bring in all the healers, all the wisdom healers that you'd like to bring in. So Babaji, the teacher of the teacher of the teacher of Yogananda. And of course, the archetypical healer, Jesus. And anybody else you want to bring into the circle. And then we're actually going to do it in a matrix ways, how it's showing up. Take a moment, if you like, and think of what you would really like. What do you want? And what would be the feeling of having all of that? Like, what would it do for you? And then we're going to take it from, I'm going to bring Darian in, and then we'll do this we'll do it real quickly again. Okay, so Darian, here we go. We've made a magic circle. We brought in the wisdom healing teachers, Babaji, Yogananda, Jesus, all the healers. And then we're going to take our intention of what do you want? If something were to be done for you today, what might that be? And what would be the feeling of having all of that? And what would you do having all of that? And who would you be? And what would that do for you? And what would be the best part of that? And why would that be the best part? And then let's do that Marma point to get out of the conscious mind and go to the subconscious. So the distal end of the right index finger, we'll squeeze it 6 times. And then imagine a white window frame and your right eye is looking through it. And then what do you want? See yourself having all of that. What do you want? What's the feeling of it? What will it do for you? What's the best part? Why is that the best part? And then take your right hand and pat your heart 6 times and think very good. And then we're going to take the frequencies, frequency 21, spirit, and it'll go through the top of the head. So before we even do that, energetically, I'm going to put one hand on top of your head, above your head, one hand on your heart, the golden heart. Yeah, to clear anything that could be slowing you down, standing in your way, or stopping you. Physical stuff, mental, emotional stuff, spiritual stuff. Physical healing. Yeah, so you're healthy enough to get on your own surfboard and take your own wave. That's the IMT model, to get healthy enough to take your own surfboard, to take your own wave. What do you want? I'm going to actually do some more in an IMT model. There's this tuning fork idea where everything in the body should be free to move in all the planes of movement that are possible for it. Have space around it, have space inside of it, have good relationships between all the structures, have the ability to move in all directions. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, clear now. Okay, then we're going to use a matrix energetics way to bring your intentions in. So frequency 21 to the top of the head, frequency 20, frequency 19. And then the forehead chakra, frequency 17, frequency 16, frequency 15. And then the throat chakra, frequency 14, frequency 13, frequency 12. And then the heart chakra, frequency 12, 11, 10. The solar plexus chakra, frequency 9, 8, 7. The belly button chakra, frequency 6, frequency 5, frequency 4. Open Mingmen. Awaken the dragon. 654. And then the root chakra between the pelvis and the tailbone and the hips, frequency 3, frequency 2. And Leslie and Darren and I are going to activate that frequency 3, frequency 2, and frequency 1. And then I'm going to tell you about this in a bit. I'm going to send copies of you and copies of us out into the space-time to do all the projects, work on all the stuff, meet all the people, Connected all the dots. Okay, now let's take a little pebble from your head, and on 3, we'll let go, and it'll fall way into the pelvic space. On 3, 2, 1. And we'll go to the feeling of whatever that is that brings you great joy. And I think we're going to do it this way. Energetically, I'm going to connect up, like we're in a circle, all of our little fingers, the heart meridian. Let's do the rest of that Marma point, even though this feels very complete. We'll squeeze the middle segment of the right index finger 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you've got a white window frame, and your right eye is looking through it, seeing your life. And having all of that, what will you do? And who will you be? And then take your right hand and pat your heart 6 times and think, very good. And then we'll squeeze the the proximal part of your right index finger 6 times. And the white window frame, the right eye is looking through it. Having all of that, what will your life look like? What does your life look like having all of that? And see that, and what does it feel like? Yeah, dopamine, norepinephrine, oxytocin, nitric oxide. And then we'll pat the heart 6 times and think, very good. Very good. And I'll explain this in a bit too. And then we'll go with the right index finger, the distal end again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. If you knew you only had 6 months to live, what would you most want to do? And who would you most want to be? And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you most want to do? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you most want to do? And if you had $10 million in your bank account and you didn't have to work another day in your life, what would you most want to do? And who would you most want to be? Who would you be? And if you had all of that for the next 3 years, And now it's 3 years later, having all that. What do you want now? And then we'll pat the heart 6 times and think, very good. Very good. And this is the part that I tend to go through quickly, where actually it's the most important part, I think. It's a very important part anyway. Now we do the peace process. So now let's go into the body. Stay out of the thoughts. And notice the most intense part. We'll do this together, very powerful together. We'll stay out of all techniques. Let go of your thoughts. Let go of all distracting thoughts. Feel your body inwardly. Entire body is harmonized with chi. As Jesus said, don't you know the Holy Spirit resides within you? And so we'll just take a moment, some moments, and notice the most intense part. And just follow it. And between your pelvis and your head, just notice that area especially. You notice the legs and arms, feet and hands, and see if there's something between your pelvis, your tailbone, your pelvis, and the top of your head that you're noticing. And then just follow it and touch it very lightly, or point to it by touching the side, and just follow it. Stay out of your thoughts. Stay in your body. Notice the most intense part. That's right. Stay very alert. Whatever you're noticing, give it space. Let it be there. Let it breathe. Stay out of your thoughts. Stay out of your techniques. Wow. Notice the most intense part. Just follow it. And in that most intense part, notice the most intense part of that. And just follow it and touch it. That's right. That's right. You're doing great. And then we'll do the second A of the Qigong. First A, we've done it. It's acceptance, whatever that is. And the second A is activation. So we'll all together open our hands and close our hands. And just keep your intention of your body in between your hands. Open and close. And notice the most intense part in your body as we open and close. You can think or say how la. How la. How la. La. This seems to be one of the secrets, according to Katerina, Kate. La. And it seems to be in all the wisdom healing traditions to, to the kingdom of heaven lies within. To enter the kingdom of heaven, you must be as a child. That's like full out, total exuberance, absolute joy and ecstasy. And the Howla is about accessing that state of being, total little kid exuberance, absolute joy, ecstasy. And Howla means all is well, so be it. And that is what Katerina's kind of come to realize as she's enlightened. And she's like, yeah, it's like just live in absolute exuberance. I was watching two of them that are with her with this enlightened state of being, either husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend team. They sure look like they're together, and it's in Czechoslovakian language. So I did the translation. Or what I noticed was it was like this energy of absolute. It was like they were going to have sex on the stage practically. They weren't doing anything, but their exuberance was like just like out of control happiness. And Katerina says that's the secret. Just do that. And then the third A is appreciation. So in this state, you could notice what you notice in your body, and then notice what you appreciate. Yeah, what do you appreciate? Yeah, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? And if you knew you couldn't fail, who would you be? Okay, we'll put our hands around, and for women, the right hand goes first. For men, the left hand goes first on the belly button. And let's let go. Okay, now we'll let me, you want to click that part off.